ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Yes, continuation to the last class. Pathogenicity of Ascaris means what is the disease which is caused by the Ascaris lumbricoid is said to be as the pathogenicity of Ascaris. Disease which is caused by the Ascaris lumbricoids is said to be as the Ascariasis. Ascariasis. Definitely this is more common. This is more common in children's than adult. In the case of the children's, this Ascariasis disease is very common. Again, in this kind of the disease, what are the Ascariasis diseased symptoms means? Internal bleeding. Internal bleeding means whenever the second stage rhabditiform larvae penetrate or pierces the gut wall, during that definitely gut wall is ruptured. By that way, blood is also releases into the lumen of the small intestine. That is said to be as the internal bleeding. Whenever the second stage rhabditiform larvae starts penetration through the wall of the small intestine into the blood, this is the second stage rhabditiform larvae. Whenever the second stage rhabditiform larvae starts penetration or piercing through the wall of the intestine into the blood, during that definitely blood vessels also ruptured. By that way, blood is reaches into the lumen of the small intestine, that is the internal bleeding. Second, muscle pain. Muscle pain is also appears in this kind of the disease because in the wall of the small intestine muscles are present, smooth muscles are present. Whenever this Ascaris, whenever this rhabditiform larvae starts a penetration into the blood, during that muscles also degenerate or damage, that must be leads to the muscle pain. Again, fever. Fever is also appears. Headache is also appears. Again, stunted growth. Stunted growth means growth is stopped in the case of the children. Growth is not proper as with the age. What is the reason to stop the growth in the person who is suffered with Ascariasis means? Definitely taxins which may be released from Ascaris, taxins which are released from the Ascaris inhibit secretion of human growth hormone. Human growth hormone, definitely this is responsible for the proper growth of the person as per the age. Human growth hormone is responsible for occurring of the growth with proportion to age, but taxins which may be released from the Ascaris, the taxins principally inhibit the secretions of the human growth hormone. As a result of this, growth of the child is gets stopped here. Growth of the child is not proper as with the age. That is said to be as the stunted growth. Again, blocking of intestinal food materials. Definitely, whenever the more and more number of the ascaris lumbricoids are accumulated here, whenever the more and more number of the ascaris lumbricoids are accumulated here, they causes the disturbance to the flow of the food. They causes the disturbance to the flow of the food from the small intestine into large intestine. Definitely blocking intestinal food material. Definitely they causes the obstruction. They causes the disturbance to the flow of the food material from the intestine into large intestine. In that way, blocking of intestinal food material means definitely for easy passage of the food material from the small intestine into large intestine, this ascaris lumbricoids must be causes the obstruction, must be causes the disturbances. In that way, what are the symptoms of ascariasis disease means? Internal bleeding, muscle pain, fever, headache, stunted growth, means growth may not be occurs properly, and blocking of intestinal passage, blocking of the intestinal food material passing, blocking of intestinal food material passing or passage. Definitely food material may not be gets freely passes through the intestine, through the small intestine into large intestine because of due to the more number of the ascaris lumbricoids. Next to prophylaxis. Next one is the prophylaxis. Means what are the precautions which we have to take in to avoid the infection of the ascaris lumbricoid is said to be as the prophylaxis. Prophylaxis nothing but what are the steps which we have to take in to avoid this ascaris lumbricoid infection to us is said to be as the prophylaxis. Definitely, this second stage rhabditiform larvae is infected from person to person through contamination of food and water. Like that of the Entamoeba histolytica, in the Entamoeba histolytica life cycle also, tetranucleate cyst is spread from person to person through contamination of food and water. Here also, second stage rhabditiform larvae spread from person to person through the contamination of food and water. So that only, at first we have to maintain personal hygiene as well as the public hygiene to avoid that kind of the infection of the ascaris from person to person. Definitely first method is the personal hygiene is the first. What is the meaning of the personal hygiene? Washing of our hands regularly. Just before taking the meal, we must be wash our hands with insecticide soaps. With insecticide soap or with antimicrobial soap, definitely we have to wash our hands from time to time or just before taking the meal. Second personal hygiene is we have to regularly trim our nail. We have to regularly trim our nails. And third one, we have to regularly wash vegetables just before they may be using. Definitely we have to thoroughly wash vegetable just before they may be using, and also we have to wash fruits just before they may be eaten. Thoroughly fruits also have to be washed before they may be eaten. After cooking, this food materials must be covered with the coverings. food materials must be covered with the coverings. These are said to be as the personal hygiene. Next, we should avoid open defecation. We must be uses the toilet. We must be construct the toilets for the defecation. We must be uses the toilet for the defecation. We should avoid the open defecation because second stage rhabditiform larva is discharges to the out from the person through the defecated matter. Whenever that person defecate this defecated matter in the open area, then only second stage rhabditiform larva may be added to the food material, then only that may be added to the drinking water. Whenever that food material which is with the second stage rhabditiform larvae, this water which is with the second stage rhabditiform larvae, if they may be used by the healthy person, through them definitely rhabditiform larva reaches into their small intestine. So that only second one is that definitely avoiding open defecation. Open defecation, definitely we should avoid the open defecations. We must be encourages construction of the toilets for the defecation. And third, public hygiene. Definitely public hygiene practice also important for avoiding of the infection of the Ascaris from person to person. So what is the public hygiene means? From the governmental side, they also have to be take care to keep the open areas as clean, to keep the streets as the clean, and also they have to be encourages the public to avoid the open defecations, and also from time to time they have to be clean the water reservoirs and water tankers by adding the bleaching powder in order to kill that kind of the pathogens which may be present in the drinking water. Means definitely this water which is going to be supplied to the public, that water have to be bleached, that have to be added with the bleaching powder for killing of the pathogens which are present in them, then only they have to be supplied to the public for the drinking. In that way, from governmental side also they have to be take certain measures to avoid the Ascaris infection from person to person, that is said to be as the public hygiene. In that way, personal hygiene practice, public hygiene practice, avoiding open defecations must be followed, must be necessary to avoid infection of the Ascaris from person to person. This is the Ascaris lumbricoid. Next parasite is the Wuchereria bancrofti. Next parasite. Before going to the next parasite, what are the important NEET objective questions on this particular concept? What are the important NEET objective questions on this particular Ascaris lumbricoids means? The first important question, how many moltings occurs in life cycle of Ascaris? Definitely totally how many number of the moltings occurs in the life cycle of the Ascaris means 4. Totally they are 4 in number. Of them, where the first molting is occurs, first molting is occurs to outside of person in moisted soil, that is the moisted feces, to the outside of the person in moisted soil while marmorated eggs are present in the moisted feces. Zygote undergoes the first molting, second molting, and third molting. These two are occurs in alveoli of lungs of new host. New host and a second person. Alveoli of lungs of new host, that is the second person. ఫస్ట్ పర్సన్లో ఎలాంటి మోల్టింగ్స్ జరగవు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఎక్స్ పర్సన్ బాడీ నుంచి మామ్యులేటెడ్ ఎగ్ అనేది రిలీజ్ అయింది అంటే ఎక్స్ పర్సన్ బాడీలో ఇంకా ఫర్దర్గా మనకు మోల్టింగ్స్ ఏం జరగవు. న్యూ పర్సన్ అంటే వై పర్సన్. డెఫినెట్లీ ఇన్ ద వై పర్సన్స్ బాడీ totally 3 moltings are occurs. To the outside of the person 1 molting, that is the first molting is occurs. First molting occurs to the outside of the person in moisted feces or moisted soil. Second, third moltings are occurs in the alveoli of lungs of new host. New host and Y person, other person. Fourth molting, that is the final molting. This is the final molting. Is occurs in lumen of small intestine of new host. అంటే సెకండ్ పర్సన్. డెఫినెట్గా మనకు ఫోర్త్ స్టేజ్ రాబిడేటిఫార్మ్ లార్వా రిటర్న్ బ్యాక్ టు ఇంటెస్టైన్ from the lung, finally in lumen of the small intestine that undergoes the fourth molting and reaches to the young one. Means second, third moltings are occurs in the alveoli of lung of new host during extra intestinal migration, and fourth molting, that is the final molting, is occurs in the lumen of the small intestine of the new host. అంటే మనకు సెకండ్ స్టేజ్ రాబిడేటిఫార్మ్ లార్వా ఎక్స్ట్రా ఇంటెస్టినల్ మైగ్రేషన్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తూ ఫైనల్గా లంగ్స్లోకి చేరుతుంది. దిస్ సెకండ్ స్టేజ్ రాబిడేటిఫార్మ్ లార్వే రీచెస్ ఎట్ ఫస్ట్ ఇన్ టు లివర్, ఫ్రమ్ వేర్ ఇన్ టు ది హార్ట్, ఫ్రమ్ వేర్ ఇన్ టు లంగ్, ఇన్సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ద లంగ్ that reaches to the alveoli where that undergoes the second and third molting, finally reaches to the fourth stage rhabditiform larvae. Fourth stage rhabditiform larvae again return back towards the intestine from the lung, finally in intestine that undergoes the fourth molting to reach the young one. So second, third moltings are occurs in the alveoli of lung of new host. Fourth molting, that is the final molting, is occurs in the lumen of the small intestine of new host. This is the first question. Second question, second neat question. Second neat question. Which of following stages of larvae begins and ends extraintestinal migration respectively అంటే ఇంటెస్టైన్ నుంచి బయటకు వచ్చేటటువంటి లార్వల్ స్టేజ్ ఏంటి, ఇంటెస్టైన్లోకి మళ్ళీ రిటర్న్ అయ్యేటటువంటి లార్వల్ స్టేజ్ ఏంటి అనేదే ఎక్స్ట్రా ఇంటెస్టినల్ మైగ్రేషన్. సో టు ది అవుట్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇంటెస్టైన్ త్రూ విచ్ రూట్ దట్ larva is gets a process, that route is said to be as the extra intestinal migration. Extra means outside, intestine means intestine, to the outside of the intestine through which route that is gets circulated, that is said to be as the extra intestinal migration. So what is the stage of rhabdoitiform larva which begins the extra intestinal migration means second stage. Rhabdoitiform larvae, second stage rhabdoitiform larvae begins extra intestinal migration. Extra intestinal migration. What is the larva which is returned back to intestine from the lung? Fourth stage. Fourth stage rhabdoitiform larvae ends extra intestinal migration. Extra intestinal migration, very important in the NEET examination. How many moltings are occurs in the life history of life cycle of the Ascaris means 4. Definitely 4. Where that 4 moltings are occurs, where that 4 moltings are occurs means first molting is occurs in moisture soil to the outside of the host. Second, third moltings are occurs in the alveoli of lung of new host. Fourth molting, that is the final molting, is occurs in the lumen of the small intestine of the new host. Second question, which of the following stages of larvae begins and ends extra intestinal migration respectively means second stage rhabdoitiform larvae begins extra intestinal migration, fourth stage rhabdoitiform larvae ends the extra intestinal migration. Next, another important question, route of extra intestinal migration. Route of extra intestinal migration. Route of extra intestinal migration. So sequence of route of extra intestinal migration. Sequence of route of extra intestinal migration. What is the sequence of route of extra intestinal migration means first hepatic portal vein. Definitely second stage rhabdoitiform larvae pierces the wall of the small intestine and reaches to the hepatic portal vein, from where that is reaches to liver, from where that is reaches to post-caval vein, means blood vessel which is present between the liver and the heart is the post-caval vein, from where that is reaches to the heart, from the heart through the pulmonary artery, that is reaches to the alveoli of lungs, in alveoli of lung that undergoes the second and third molting, and finally fourth stage rhabditiform larvae gets formed, that is reaches to bronchi, from where that is reaches to trachea, from where that is reaches to larynx, from where that is reaches to pharynx, from where that is reaches to esophagus, from where that is reaches to stomach, from where that is reaches to the small intestine. So in that way, what is the route of sequence of extraintestinal migration means, from the small intestine second stage rhabditiform larvae at first entered into the hepatic portal vein, from where into liver, from the liver through the postcaval vein that is reaches to the heart, from where that is reaches to the pulmonary artery, from where that is reaches to the alveoli of lung. In the alveoli of lung that undergoes the second and third molting, by that way fourth stage rhabditiform larvae gets formed. Later fourth stage rhabditiform larva reaches to bronchi, from where into trachea, from where into larynx, from where into pharynx, from where into esophagus, from where into stomach, from where into small intestine. In small intestine, fourth stage rhabditiform larva undergoes the fourth molting, that is the final molting, that will be reaches to the young one. Later, within 8 to 10 weeks, that acquires the sexual maturity and reaches to the adult stage. These are the important NEET objective questions in Ascaris. Next to Wuchereria bancrofti. Next to another parasite is the Wuchereria bancrofti. Wuchereria bancrofti, that is the another parasite. This is commonly called as the filarial worm. Wuchereria bancrofti is commonly called as the filarial worm because it causes filariasis disease. It causes the filariasis or elephantiasis. Filariasis or elephantiasis disease. Due to that reason, this Wuchereria bancrofti is called as the filarial worm. Definitely this Wuchereria bancrofti is commonly called as the filarial worm because it causes the filariasis disease or the elephantiasis disease finally. Due to that reason, this Wuchereria bancrofti is called as the filarial worm. What is the classification of the Wuchereria bancrofti means? Its phylum is Nematoda. Its phylum is Nematoda. సార్ ఆగినట్టు చూడండి, సప్పుడు వచ్చింది సార్, ఆగినట్టు చూడండి, వస్తుంది. సో డెఫినెట్లీ ఇట్స్ phylum is the Nematoda. Its class is Phasmidia, like that of the Ascaris. It is belongs to the phylum Nematoda. What is the meaning of the Nema? Nema means thread-like. Nema means thread-like. Toad means worm. Definitely like that of the Ascaris, Wuchereria bancrofti is also rounded. It is with rounded body it is look like as the thread, so that only it is said to be as the nematoda. Its phylum is the nematoda. Like that of the Ascaris, Wuchereria bancrofti is also like that of a thread. It is also rounded body, so that only its phylum is said to be as the nematoda. Its class is said to be as the Phasmidia. Definitely on posterior end of the body in Wuchereria bancrofti also, this phasmid is present as the sense organ, like that of our nose. Definitely this is said to be as the phasmid. This is the sense organ, like that of our nose, that is one sense organ. In the posterior part of the body, like that of the Ascaris in the Wuchereria also, this sense organ, that is the phasmid, is present, so that only this class is said to be as the Phasmidia. Again, this Wuchereria bancrofti is digenetic. It is the digenetic parasite. It is the histozoic parasite. It is the dimorphic parasite. It is the pseudocoelomate parasite. Definitely Wuchereria bancrofti is also called as digenetic parasite, histozoic parasite, dimorphic parasite, pseudocoelomate parasite. So then what is the digenetic parasite? Definitely Wuchereria bancrofti complete its life cycle in two different species of the host. Of that, primary host is man, secondary host is female Culex mosquito. Secondary host is female Culex mosquito as per the Patrick Manson. Patrick Manson discovered that this female Culex mosquito is the secondary host to the Wuchereria bancrofti. As per the Patrick Manson, secondary host to that kind of the Wuchereria bancrofti is female Culex mosquito. Means definitely Wuchereria bancrofti spread from person to person by the biting of the female Culex mosquito. So that only this female Culex mosquito is also acts as vector. It also acts as biological vector. Definitely female Culex mosquito is also acts as the biological vector, because it is responsible for spreading of Wuchereria bancrofti from person to person. It is the responsible for rapid spreading from person to person. So that only this is the vector. Female Culex mosquito is vector for that kind of the Wuchereria. Definitely digenetic parasite means it completes its life cycle in two different species of the host. Of that primary host is man, secondary host is the female Culex mosquito as per the Patrick Manson. Again, female Culex mosquito is also acts as biological vector for Wuchereria bancrofti for rapid spreading from person to person. Again, it is the histozoic parasite. Why we say it is histozoic means it lives in tissues of lymph vessel and lymph glands. Definitely, this kind of the Wuchereria bancrofti lives in the tissues of the lymph vessels and lymph glands. Due to that reason, it is said to be as the histozoic. Lymph vessels are the ducts of lymphatic system, like that of the blood vessel. Like that of our blood vessel, in lymphatic system also lymph vessels are present. Like that of glands, in lymphatic system also glands are present. They are said to be as the lymph gland. This Wuchereria bancrofti lives in tissues of the lymph vessel as well as the lymph gland. Due to that reason, this is said to be as the histozoic parasite. Again, it is the dimorphic. What is the meaning of the dimorphic? Means male female. Male females are separate. Male females are separate. Male females are separate means male are with male reproductive system, females are with the female reproductive system, sexes are separate, and male females are with the unique features to easily identify them. Particular one is the male, particular one is the female. If this kind of the male females are separate, male females are with the unique features to easily identify them. Particular one is the male, particular one is the female. Then that nature is said to be as the dimorphic nature. Di means two. Morphic means external appearance. Males are look like with one external appearance. Females are look like with one another external appearance. If this both male and females are look like as different with the unique features, then we can say that is said to be as the dimorphic. Male females are separate. Male female reproductive systems are separately present in the male female. So that is said to be as the dimorphic parasite. Again, it is with the pseudocoelom. Means in the case of the Wuchereria bancrofti also, original coelom is not present, false coelom is present like that of the Ascaris. In the Wuchereria bancrofti also, original coelom is not present, false coelom is present like that of the Ascaris. So that only it is said to be as the pseudocoelomic parasite. Pseudocoelom means false coelom. Body cavity, if it is covered with mesodermal layers, that is said to be as the original body cavity. But here, though coelom is present, though body cavity is present, that may not be covered with the mesodermal layer. So that only that is said to be as the false coelom, that is said to be as the pseudocoelom. Definitely in the case of the Wuchereria bancrofti also, like that of the Ascaris, false coelom is present. Due to that, this is said to be as the pseudocoelomic parasite. Again, when we observe the structure of male female, when we observe the structure of the male females, what is the structure of the male female means? Definitely when we observe the males, these males are long, narrow, again their posterior ends are with the curved, their posterior ends are with the curving. In the case of the females, female body is also long. Again, their posterior end is straight, like that of the Oscaris. Like that of the Oscaris, in the case of the Wuchereria bancrofti also, males are long and their posterior end is with the curving. Females also long, their posterior end is with the straight. Definitely these bodies are elongated, they are narrow, again they are with the creamy white in color. Creamy white in color means that is not purely white in color, that is the light brown in color, that is said to be as the creamy white in color. Meegada antaru Telugulo meegada color adi. Definitely these bodies of the Wuchereria bancrofti are elongated. Elongation means they are long. They are narrow means they are cylindrical, they are rounded. Their bodies are very thin in nature, width is very less, that is said to be as the narrow. Their bodies are with creamy white in color. In both of them also anteriorly mouth is present, like that of the Oscaris. Here also mouth is present in both of them, like that of the Oscaris. At an extreme anterior end, at the tip of the anterior end of the male female, here also mouth is present, but mouth is not surrounded with the chitinous lips. In the case of the Oscaris, mouth is covered with 3 chitinous lips. In the case of the Oscaris, mouth is covered with 3 chitinous lips, but in the case of the Wuchereria bancrofti, mouth is not covered with the chitinous lip. Here also, behind to the mouth, in both of them, excretory 4. Excretory 4 is present in both of them, like that of the Oscaris, just behind to the mouth. In the case of the female, here also, on mid-ventral, from the 1/3 length of the mouth, a opening which is present, that is said to be as the female genital 4. Female genital 4 or vulva, like that of the Oscaris. In the female on mid-ventral, this is said to be as the middle. This is the middle, this is the ventral side. Ventral means lower surface of the body is ventral, upper surface of the body is dorsal. Mid-ventral means this is the ventral position, this is the middle place. This is said to be as the mid-ventral. On mid-ventral, from the 1/3 length of the mouth, whatever the opening which is present in the female, that is said to be as the female genital 4 or vulva. Posteriorly, whatever the opening is present, that is said to be as the anus, like that of the female Oscaris. In female Wuchereria also, mouth is present, but mouth is not surrounded by the chitinous lips in Wuchereria. Again, excretory 4, female genital 4, anus are present in a sequence. Posterior end is straight in the female of Wuchereria. In the case of the male, in curved portion, cloaca is present. Cloaca is present like that of the Oscaris, male Oscaris. Here this cloaca is with the toe. Copulatory spicules are pineal spicules. These are the pineal spicules, but these are unequal. In the case of the male Oscaris, they are equal. In the case of the male Wuchereria bancrofti, these are unequal. these are unequal in size. Definitely they also two. In the case of the male ascaris, these two pineal spicules are equal in size. But in the case of the male Bucharida bancrofti, they are unequal in size. These are also principally useful to transfer the sperm cells from the male into the female during the copulation.
ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.